a brief, what we have, 30 seconds? A minute? How much do we have? I want to see maybe if she can...
What do you mean?
Sell it?
No, not sell it. I mean, if you want, but no. Talk about like your obviously what really is going on in your body. Like for example, the knees, right?
Sure.
The ACLs. You know what I
Gotcha,
mean?
I got what you're
like
saying.
no one really can see that.
Right.
Yeah.
You can just kind of
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Deborah Klein. I've been here for, I believe, 8, 9, 20
been a while,
years.
yeah.
Long time. I was challenged with knee problems. I came to Hector with knee problems, and they're much, much better. I had some surgery, and he helped me rehab that. And then it's been going on since then. I've had shoulder issues. I've had all sorts of injuries, but I always get rehabbed here. Or if I'm not injured, I get stronger. It's just how it goes. Do it.
And more specifically, your knee, is it your ACL, is your meniscus?
It was
Do
my
you
meniscus.
Do you have it or you don't have it?
No, they did the
repair?
meniscectomy. They took a lot of it, and
Yeah.
but this knee is really solid. I mean,
Nice.
it's a pair.
Right.
It wasn't a pair for a long time, so yeah, a little bit with the
low back and
Yeah.
the low back.
Other
Okay.
than that, I'm pretty good today.
How did that happen?
We're having a deck rebuilt right now, so there's been a whole trying to get the place buttoned down for the weather, and then I was running around with tarps and stuff, and it's chaos at our house, as you can imagine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Anything else going on in the body?
No, I'm feeling.
Ready to go? Welcome back, everyone. I'm excited to introduce our very first episode of the Strength Studio Sessions, where you get to watch individuals like yourself experience a workout in our clinical strength training protocol. I'm Hector Sanchez, owner and founder of the Strength Studio, located in Sonoma County, California. And today we have a client, Deborah Klein, as you heard earlier here. She is 72 years old and has been working with us for 15 years, long time now. And very excited to have her on. Hands feel nice and snug, Karen? Right. In this session, I'm going to be putting Deborah through her normal routine, which consists of about 5 machines, and I'm going to be discussing how we were able to get her back or get her strength back into being able to do all the things that she was held back from. For example, I don't know if you saw or heard in that check-in that I did before the workout that she was building a deck, and I've known Deborah for a long time here. I was the original trainer that was working her and putting her through her workouts, and man, we've been through a lot, and I'm very blessed and grateful that I've been able to really help her out throughout all these years. This first exercise is the abduction. Its main focus is to work on the glutes and or the abductors, and part of the abductors are your gluteus medius, maximus, minimus, but we also have the TFL, terra fascia latae, and we also, I believe, that connects all the way down to the knee. So we do this actually to help the rehabilitate anything surrounding the knee. So some of these muscles connect to the knee as well. So very important to do that in an indirect way. So that's kind of like how we work here. Our goal is to really focus on isolating machines so that they properly engage the muscles that need to be engaged so that they create more stability in your joints. This machine also helps for keeping your balance as we age. So what we're doing here is we're building strength so that you can continue and live life, so that you don't have to worry about falling or tripping and not being able to catch yourself. And in Deborah's case, her knees, like she said, she had a knee surgery. Her knee wasn't the same. Both legs weren't equal. It was giving out quite a bit. Low back was an issue. Shoulders was an issue. Neck was an issue. And we've been able to get her to the point now that she's able to work on her deck and really get that going. So, I mean, that's super exciting. And I love that. And this is only one of 5 machines. That's all she does, guys. Only 5 machines. You're probably wondering, does she have to do more, or why is this so little? That's because it's not about quantity, it's about quality here at the Strength Studio. We focus on the quality of the exercise, isolating it to the point it cannot move anymore. As you see here, Deborah is completely failing. Her muscle is going to the point where it cannot contract anymore, and pretty deep, and she does not like it at all. Oh man, but she's a trooper. She was able to do it. And just to let you guys know, I'm not a very nice trainer when it comes to pushing you, because I'm about exceeding the limits in a safe way. But since I know that the mind has to get strong before the body does, I definitely push the mind, and I get the body to the point where it's outside of the comfort zone. That is where the magic happens. Outside of your comfort zone. So yes, this exercise is not fun at all. You can talk to anybody who does it. It's not fun. It's not supposed to be. If it's real exercise, it's not fun, because we want to really change or demand change from the body. What Deborah is doing here is the pull down machine. This machine focuses on forearms, biceps, back of the shoulder, your trapezius, little bit of the rhomboids, your lats, and your abdominals. That's a lot of muscles working together. This machine is also known as the upper leg press, because it works that many muscle groups, and typically almost your whole body is engaged here. She's doing really good with her form. I mean, I don't really have to say much so far, but her form is on point, and again, that's because she's been working out for so long that she has it dialed in. Of course, there's a few things that happen naturally, instinctively, that we have to be on top of, like holding your breath, or maybe she's moving a little bit too fast. But other than that, she's got it pretty good. But I like doing this exercise because right where I'm touching, it focuses in that area, and it indirectly works the neck area. That's why when you're on it, sometimes your neck starts to burn and create a little lactic acid, because those muscles are engaged, your upper trapezius. And if you have any neck issues, my approach, and maybe I'm giving out my secrets here, and it's okay, because if you're seeing this video, this is what it's about. If in any way you watch these videos and I'm able to help you improve, if you're a trainer or if you're a client, and this helps you improve your workouts, that I've done my job. So what I was going to say is that the approach I take, and I think it's my secret, to rehabilitating any injury, is to take the approach of indirect. You want to be indirect in your approach, meaning, here's an example. Right now, the pull down is focusing on all these other muscle groups that are supporting you, but they're not the neck is being engaged, but it's not the primary muscle being engaged. It's already possibly maybe the third or fourth or fifth muscle that's engaged during this moment. But so that means you're not stressing it as much. Most of the stress here is going to be on the forearms, biceps, chest, shoulders, and maybe trapezius at the very end, and abs. But the forearms are going to give out early because that is your weak link in the chain of muscles engaged. And I'll go ahead and show you some other indirect techniques on different machines when she moves on to the next one here. But as you can see, she's starting to fatigue. And here at the end of her exercise, I do a specific technique for you trainers out there. You're probably familiar with this. She's been going for quite a bit of time on this exercise, so a little longer than I want. So it's been about 3 minutes fatigue. And so I just added right there a manual resistance. So she's pulling on it with everything she can. She can't move. You want to do this at her strong position, not her weak position. So typically what this looks like is when you get to a point of intermediate intensity, our goal is to fatigue your muscle groups engaged in about a minute and a half to 3 minutes. And if you go over 3 minutes, it's not meaningful enough, and we add weight. So when I see anyone going a little past, there's certain machines that you can add a manual resistance, but one that you do not want to add any manual resistance is the adductor. Not the abductor, the one we just did earlier, our first machine, but the sister of that, the adductor, where you're pulling your legs in. Never, never add manual resistance on that because you could hurt the groin area. Here I'm measuring the hip flexion degree and just double checking, but that looked pretty good. We want that hip flexion to be about 67 to 70 degrees of hip flexion, and that's because that is the strongest position of your glutes. So in the exercise, imagine this. When you start off, the hardest, heaviest part of this exercise is there at the beginning. The first 0 to 3 inches is going to be the most challenging. And as many of you have done this here at the studio or in Sonoma, or if you're at home or done some exercise at the gym, you know the hardest part of this exercise, the leg press, is the beginning, the first 0 to 3 inches. And Deborah is doing phenomenal with that. When you start off any exercise, especially this leg press, you want to gradually ease off so that you warm up the muscle, because the first repetition is your warm-up. So it's very important. That first repetition is where most of the danger is, because you're the strongest and your muscles are the coldest. So that's your warm-up, the first repetition. No need to stretch, no need to do jumping jacks. As long as you can have that nice, very slow, gradual start, you're good to go. Also, this exercise, to me, is one of the most important ones to have in your regimen, because the leg press, or let's say the lower body, makes up 3/4 of all of our muscle in our body. That's a lot. So this exercise, when done right, has the biggest effects on not only on all your lower body muscles, but it also has a metabolic response or indirect response on the rest of the muscles that we have. So it just releases so many hormones when done intensely and done right. But I was telling you earlier that on working on different exercises for an indirect approach, this exercise, 80% of this work is being done by the gluteus maximus. So again, that is the primary muscle engaged. but also your quadriceps are engaged, but you'll feel it more in your quadriceps because that's a more sensitive muscle, and our glutes are an insensitive muscle. But this exercise does wonders for rehabilitating knees, right? Or strengthening all the muscle groups surrounding the knee so you can have more stability in those knees and in the hips and around the ankles. All that gets engaged. And it also helps your low back because it supports the low back as well. So this kind of came up in one of our conversations this last week with one of our clients, or one of my clients, and something that I think we forget about is that as we age, a lot of you probably have or have heard of feeling pain, or getting more pain, and everyone just discredits it as it's okay, you're getting older, it's part of getting older. And I don't believe that. I believe that the only reason that we get pain as we get older is because your stability has weakened and the muscles have gotten so weak that they can't even sustain you throughout the whole day. So they fatigue and then they just give out. They give up. And then all that stress or all the impact is then placed on the bony structure and connective tissues. And that's when you start getting pain. And again, correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong, but I've been doing this for 24 years and I've gotten people to get out of pain, chronic pain that they've had most of their life. Back pains, knee pains, you name it, shoulder pains, and they're living life to the fullest and being able to still do things that they used to do in the past. Now I'm going to take a little moment here to talk about this overhead press she's doing, and notice the overhead when we pan out here. She's actually moving forward and not straight up over the head, but this is more anatomically correct. It's you never want to do an exercise straight above the head. It puts a lot of stress on your shoulders, and again, if you're trying to strengthen the shoulders without hurting them, that is definitely not the right direction. All these machines are designed again to move in conjunction with joint and muscle function. So this is the proper way how you're going to move forward on that. It's really hard to find a good overhead press in any conventional gyms. So this is one I would really avoid because if not done correct, it'll put a lot of pressure down your spine. So as you see, I don't know if you can see Deborah go. As she's going up, she's actually flexing her spine. So when you do an overhead press, you should do a flex in the spine because that protects the lumbar and pretty much your whole spine. So it creates a lot more support. Think of how in architecture you have an arch, and that arch in doorways and whatnot and bridges are one of the strongest support systems we have engineering wise. So yeah, this is another one we do. Your abdominals are engaged, your upper chest, your front deltoids, even your abs are engaged at the end. She's doing a crunch. And again, going nice and steady here all the way up. I mean, if you want muscles to be able to put your carry-on bags on top, over on the overhead compartment, these are the muscles that does. And I've had plenty of clients say, thank you so much. I used to have a young gentleman next to me, always helped me when I was going flying, but now I tell them no, thank you. I got this, and clients feel so proud and so happy that they're able to do that. And I mean, that brings joy to my heart as well. Man, Deborah's getting a workout here. I love it. So she's about to come on to her last machine. And again, it's her fifth machine. That's all she's done. But I bet you she feels exhausted right now. Why does that work? Circling back to what I said at the beginning, why is it that only 5 machines work? And again, there's no need to do more. Once you've stimulated the muscles enough, there's no need. There's no need to do more repetitions, more exercises, because then it just becomes redundant. We've already done the job to stimulate it if it's deep enough, only if it is hard enough, and you stimulate that. That's why it's important for each and every one of you to get out of your comfort zone. And every comfort zone is different. Everyone has a different comfort zone. So the goal is to 1%, just 1% each time you're in, and that will get you the adaptation response. Our last machine here is the row. I like it. It's the only form that we use here to retract or isolate the rhomboids and retract the scapula by keeping your arms straight. It's the only way you make the rhomboids do a dynamic movement. Other than that, if you're just doing the row part of this, the rhomboids are affected in a static, isometric way. So they're not really engaged because, like I told you, there's different engagements of muscles. They could either be the primary muscle, the secondary muscle, or the third that are engaged. And here, we start off by making the rhomboids be the primary muscle engaged, and then we focus on forearms, biceps, rear deltoids, lats at the very end. But yeah, she's doing really good here. But like I was telling you, all 5 machines that we did was the abduction. Works one of the biggest muscle groups we have in our body, and that is our glutes and hip abductors. They're part of that movement. The second exercise we did was the pull down, and I said that was the upper leg press. So it works almost the whole upper body and all your muscles. The third exercise was the leg press. The leg press works your whole lower body. Even with just those 2 machines, it would be enough to create change if you push hard enough. But then we added the overhead press. Again, working the upper pecs, the deltoids. And now this is the last one, which I mentioned. I already mentioned all the muscles engaged. But all those machines that we did work some of our biggest muscles in our body, therefore giving you the biggest bang for your buck. And on another note, about working indirectly here, this exercise also helps with shoulder rehabilitation because even if you have shoulder issues and you can't pull in, right, you stay with only doing the retraction, and that helps you, again, support. The rhomboids help support your shoulders, so you get them stronger. It'll help your shoulders out a lot. And not to mention, your neck is also engaged here as well. So you will also get an indirect neck workout as well, doing that retraction of the scapula and isolating those rhomboids. So big benefits here for muscles that are really sensitive and that we all need to work on. Man, this was lovely, and appreciate again having you take the time to watch this video, like the videos, and subscribe to our channel. Also, before I forget, a special thanks to our client Deborah for volunteering to share her workout with everyone. If you are a client and you would like to share your workout to help others, please reach out to us, send us an email, and we'll reach out for the next show. Thanks. Until next time.